Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I am the artistic one around here, but today we're going to look at this headline. As we all know, Jessie Smollett has begun his sentence in Chicago's Cook County facilities, but the actor is concerned that he'll die behind bars. And I kind of agree with that concern because an inmate like Jessie could be very unpopular with some of the inmates and the guards. And we know through the years, we've seen it happen with high profile inmates while they're in custody. Strange things happen. Even with Michael Jackson, who felt like emotionally scarred after the way he was treated by guards when he was detained. So Jesse setting the record straight, I think, just declaring his desire to live and that he's not suicidal, that was a good call. But him taking this whole thing this far, I don't think that was a good call. He still has not explained himself honestly in regards to what was going on in his head with this whole situation. And he probably never will. But by Jesse testifying that this was not a hoax, he was pretty much accusing the Asandiaro brothers of a hate crime under oath. Now, they weren't on trial, but there's nothing to stop them from starting a new trial against those brothers. And Jesse was the one who orchestrated and masterminded this whole thing. And I probably shouldn't say mastermind because it wasn't masterful, but Jesse still stuck to this story, causing people all kinds of grief as well as himself. And these charges probably weren't okay, they were low level and it could have wound up in probation, but Jesse just kept letting the situation get worse and worse. Also, by taking the stand, which is almost always ill advised, and he winds up in the slammer. But what trips me out is how much people have come to his defense, his aid to try to keep him out of jail. Now, his attorney likens his situation to that of Jeffrey Epstein, because he was found hung in his cell. The lead attorney, Ninye Uche, said that the comments were made for a specific reason when he said that he was not suicidal. And of course, they did try to file an immediate motion to have his sentence reconsidered, but the judge said, nah, right on the spot. Now, normally, that's the other thing. Normally, people are going to jail all the time for domestic issues, traffic warrants, child support. Even some protesters have spent some days in jail. And for a dude like this that took this kind of risk, it amazes me how people think that he's just going to break in this short time, 5 months, which will only probably be like 2.5 months. But okay, jail is not nice. It is definitely not nice. But so many people have come to speak on his behalf, civil rights leaders and social reform leaders, as well as some high profile people like Samuel Jackson's wife wrote on his behalf, but the judge felt Jesse was narcissistic, arrogant, and unapologetic. Those were the words of Judge James Lynn. But yeah, he got the jail time, and his family and a lot of people feel that it was extreme, even though this penalty could have carried a maximum 3-year sentence for this offense. But the judge didn't go that far, but he did go as far as to sentence him, and he went as far as to give him a serious lecture. And a lot of people felt that that was really unnecessary. He started off with a rhetorical question: who is Jessie Smollett, and how did you wind up here? Did I say that went on for like the better part of an hour? Yeah. And, a lot of people say that the reason why he went this route is because the eyes of the world were on Chicago because of this story. It's a horrible story. Someone's attacking you for your race and your sexual orientation. So they felt the judge was just taking advantage in understanding that the cameras were on for sentencing and the eyes of the world were on that court. So he just let some things be known and he dropped a lot of truth. But again, a lot of people felt that it was unnecessary. And in the end, the judge's decision was too harsh. Yeah, people weren't feeling it. And they came after Judge James Lynn's record, his history of giving lenient sentences and how soft he is, particularly on people that commit offenses against children. Let me just say it like that. And this is the backlash he's getting because of the fact that he sentenced Jessie to jail time. I don't think anyone would have cried about whatever probation that he would have given Jessie, but it went like that. The judge went on and on and on, and he wrapped up by saying, I'm going to sentence you accordingly, and here's your sentence. 30 months felony probation to the court. You'll be free to travel outside Illinois. You can go to New York and LA. I kind of think that they just work their way up because it sounded kind of light at first. And it almost sounds friendly when he's like, travel is often a requirement of your work. So it was sounding like, hey, and Jesse looked like he had a relaxed look on his face, and restitution to the city of Chicago for $120,000, and an additional fine of $25,000, which was a maximum fine. And then he hit him with it. You will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail, and that will start right here, right now. His heart must have dropped in his stomach. And this is the way it went. It only makes sense to show you the way it went.
Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years, and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you, and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time, I am not suicidal.
Okay.
Mr. Boucher, let me start. Are there any post-sentencing
Motions you care to present right now?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Widow.
The defense would wish to present a motion to reconsider sentence
All right.
and file it in stanter.
All right. It is timely filed.
Thank you, Judge.
And let me say, I've obviously considered the sentence at great length, and it's timely filed, so it's preserved for purposes of appeal. Motion to reconsider sentence is respectfully denied.
I am not suicidal.
Stop laughing at our black.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
Okay, so that was rough to see. And I don't think Jesse is just not the, he's definitely not a person that's been institutionalized. He's had a privileged life. I saw a headline that read, they had a photo of Jesse and it said, I think it was a video, and it had a title, "His ego was not his amigo." Look, so Jesse's younger brother has already visited him. At the time, Jesse was on the psych ward, but he was staying in a cell on his own, and his brother complained that he's not getting special treatment. I don't think that there ever was mention of special treatment, but he does not share a cell with another inmate. That's a safety precaution in and of itself for, of course, for Jesse's protection. And Judge James Lynn did issue a protective order for Jesse for the duration of his entire stay at Cook County Jail that houses about 6,000 prisoners. And this enhanced security will be with all of Jesse's movements. They should be. And he should not be exposed to the general population. And this also should not be a quasi solitary confinement, which is something that his lawyers feared. But they say that practice was abolished in 2017. Jesse will be able to move around and speak to the prison staff if, they want to speak to him. But he will, have interaction with other human beings, so I imagine Jesse's going to need that. So 26 California Street will be Jesse's home for the next 150 days, unless with good behavior, and probably even a fraction of that. Now, jail is not fun. I'm just gonna show a jail here. It's no fun at all. And as an entertainer, I've gone to perform in jails. They allow that, to give the prisoners, something. They're still human beings. Okay, this was in California, and it's really sad to see all these young, talented, beautiful men wasting their time away behind bars. They have it's a lot of testosterone built up in there, and these men, they're just living beneath their privilege. And I don't think Jesse has a tough skin for this. This is the actual Cook County Jail in Chicago. And Chicago can be just rough on the streets. So all these men with this built up frustration, it's not going to be a cool place no matter how it goes. And I don't understand why Jesse would take this kind of risk, knowing that these brothers were going to testify, the Asandiaro brothers that were castmates of his on Empire. It just doesn't make any sense. It seems like he might have forgot that he did a hoax. I can understand the mental evaluation. Or did we forget something? What is going on here? I would not play with the Chicago police, any correctional institution. I would not dance around that risk, not narrow bit. I don't even like talking to police officers unnecessarily, especially, Chicago, the city's rough, the law enforcement's rough. It's just crazy. And Jesse still, even though I know he saw his story falling apart, but he still kept on with this position that he did not mastermind or orchestrate this hoax. But there's so much evidence, text evidence. He wrote the brothers a check. I think you all have seen that. But there's just two things I don't really understand. I don't really understand why people see this as so outrageous that he would serve jail time. I mean, 5 months, that's going to be 2.5 months. That's probably going to be 7 to 8 weeks, maybe. And he is not going to interact with the general public. Yeah, jail is not nice. I understand that. But I feel like, am I missing something here? You know what I think about? Every time I hear about this case, the thing that pops in my head is the movie Rosewood. Have you ever saw that movie Rosewood? You should see that. Everybody should see it, but I would say, especially Black people, because it was a situation in a well-developed town. This is, post slavery, and it was a affluent, upwardly mobile Black community. And a white woman, was having an affair on her husband, and her lover reacted to her because she accused her lover of cheating, so he smacked her around. So she decided to claim that a Black man raped her and smacked her around. So, a hoax. This is like a racially charged hoax, and I'm just like, that's not a joke. I'm going to save. I already talked a lot. That probably was too much to add to the end, so I'm just going to cut it. See the Asandiaro brothers walking that night. I'm just going to come back and say what I have to say in another video and just wrap it up. Thank you for joining me. Yeah. Peace. Peace.